my pain keeps me humble. Breathe, slow and release. Let the air
Good morning, guys. We'll give everybody a few minutes to sign on and we will get things rolling.
I will speak down my troubles to the waves as they wash my soul clean. Won't you purge me, here as I stand. Down in the gallows, my darkness will hang. Hurt me, and I will not flinch. Firm in my ground, I will not move an inch.
As I walk through this life, I might fall, I might stumble. Whoa, I try to make friends with my pain, 'cause my pain, it keeps me humble. Whoa, when I wake up in the morning, sometimes I feel so blue, like a guitar with a broken string that can't hold the tune. 'Cause there are some real bricks around me, busting my balloon. And I really need some healing, 'cause I find out they're breathing and I'm breathing all my feelings to you. Because I'm so down, but like a roundabout, I'm about to turn it back around. Flip it like a kick, flip a switch, I'll flip my mood. Coming with the style that's rude.
As I walk through this life, I might fall, I might stumble. I try to make friends with my pain, 'cause my pain, it keeps me humble. Humble, try not to outgrow these boots. Sometimes I stumble, try to stay firm in my roots. This world's a jungle, but these streets hold the sweet.
Hey, Angela, could you text Justin and John? I don't see them on yet. So if you have their phone number, could you just text them for me?
And I learn every mistake I make. All the wisdom that this fool will create. No one in this world but me.
I'm sorry?
Justin and John?
Oh, I thought for some reason you were the one that introduced me to these guys, but no?
Well, okay, I know like 3 Justins and like 10 Johns, so I'm kind of looking for last name.
You introduced me to Quill, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so Justin, so the two
okay, yeah, all right, now I know what you're talking about, okay.
All right, perfect, thank you.
Stay humble, proud, and lucky like a 4-leaf clover. It's a walk, I'm a fall, I'm a fall, I'm a fall. Try to make friends with my pain, with my pain, with my pain. As I walk through this life, I'm a fall, I'm a stumble. Boy, I try to make friends with my pain, 'cause my pain keeps me humble. Boy.
Wonderful. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, man, it's nice to see Eric Bangle on. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good to be with you guys.
Yes, nice to have you here. I see Justin and John on. Welcome, 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 guys. Good morning and happy Friday. Super excited for our guest and stuff today. I think it's something that we all could use that would benefit us. Otherwise, I wouldn't be bringing it to you, obviously. So I think that we're going to have a great discussion here today, talk about how we can use some of these tools and stuff to really add some value and save some time in our life. But before we get to that, as always, we got to start with the wins for the week. So talk to me. Tell me some good shit that's going on out there. Who wants to start us off?
I'll get it going here, Larry. Just good to be back. It's been a couple weeks and having a great time. Still working, but not as hard as I should be. But I'll get back to that next week. So good to be back with you guys.
Tell everybody where you're at right now.
Right now, I'm in Milan. So I'll be here for today and then headed to Rome for a couple weeks.
And this is the beautiful part, guys. Like, if we do this correctly, right, as we help other people grow, we grow ourselves and stuff at the same time. But I want everybody to be able to have a life worth living and a business worth running at the end of the day, to where you guys can step away. I don't care if we're in production. I don't care if we're in attraction, right? Like, I don't care what part of it is. I don't want you guys to be tied to this, right? Like, even if we're in production, right, we should have vendors and partners and teams and things like that, so that we can step away and continue to do business even as we're not here. So Eric, super grateful to have you, man, and like, love everything that you're building over there. Congratulations on that side. Beautiful. Who has the second win for today, guys?
Looks like I picked up a listing today or this week. Probably won't sign them for 30 days until he can get his property ready to show.
Very nice. And you've been with us a relatively short time there up north of Dallas. How many properties you sitting on right now, Harmon?
Right now, I've got 3 that's just gone on listing for about 10 days ago. So we've had a lot of activity on 1 or 2 of them. Still some little issues with a couple of properties to get fixed, but we're working on it. It's going forward. Looking
Well,
good.
congratulations, man. We're thrilled to have you as a part of our group and everything that you're doing up there. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, Larry.
Absolutely. All right, guys, who has the third win to wrap up this day for us?
I have a little bit of a personal win. It's for like
Talk.
family kind of thing.
Yeah,
I
talk
popped
to
off
me.
to Ohio for 2 weeks because my dad ended up having a cancer treatment and he had his final cancer treatment the other day. Everything has been successful and 95% that everything is good to go.
Beautiful. That is a huge win, and thank you for sharing that. That is wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much. And again, welcome to my personal favorite call of the week here with all of you guys, and just appreciate all that you guys give, and you know, the community and stuff that we built here as well. So I'm super excited, right? Like we've had and talked about artificial intelligence in a number of different mastermind sessions. And I think that, excuse me, we will continue to have these conversations because it's going to continue to be a bigger and bigger part of our life. And you have to decide whether it's something that can help you, enhance you, save you time, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me whether you guys use any of this or not. I want you guys, when you guys show up here, what are a couple of things that you guys can take away from that you guys can implement into your business and help you guys grow, whether that's spending more time with your family, being more efficient, adding more value to your clients, right? These are the things where we constantly just get 1% better each day. That's the mantra that we talk about with my son as he's training for football and stuff like that. And he has his different running back coaches and stuff like that, right? The goal is to be 1% better every single day. Grow in some aspect of your life. So Angela Filkins, who is one of our top producing agents and stuff within our group, introduced me to Quill a little bit earlier this year. And Quill is an advanced technology that not only reflects kind of your unique voice, but it also ensures kind of adherence to fair housing standards. And so this is a big deal, especially with this NAR settlement and everything that's going on. Anybody here ever submitted a listing, thought you were being cool, and maybe got a little slap on the wrist or a nasty gram that's like, hey, you can't say that. And you're like, oh shit, like you didn't mean to say something wrong, right? Like little things from, you know, we grew up in this where we called it a master bedroom and stuff, right? Like there's some red flag words and stuff that pop up now that some MLSs will like frown upon or even give you violations and stuff for. And so it's hard for us to know everything that's going on. And so, you know, this kind of advanced technology with Quill, right, ensures that we adhere to any of our fair housing standards and marketing best practices at the same time. And the goal is to save time while creating kind of standout marketing listings. And so I am thrilled today to have Justin and John on from Quill. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing today?
Doing great, Larry. Yeah, thanks so much for having us. We're excited to be here.
Absolutely. So this is a group of some of the top producing agents across the country at this point in time. And all of these guys are doing a ton of business. So when Angela introduced us, I was super excited and stuff to have you on. But give us like a little background on your guys's, on yourselves. Like, how did you guys get here, right? Like, how did you guys like come up with Quill? What's your background story? Give us some relevance of why we should listen to Justin and John here before we kind of get into the gritty part of it.
Yeah, perfect. And thanks again, Larry, for inviting us to speak here. We're again very excited, and special shout out to Angela too. Angela, thank you for making the introduction. There's also some some other friendly faces on the call. So good seeing you guys. So yeah, background. So Justin and I come from a real estate investment background. That was our sort of first 15 years or so in the industry, was working for large investors, overseeing their properties in real estate, right? And since then, we've started our own real estate technology company. And the first part of that has really been focused on working with partnering with large institutional investors, right, and helping them with the quality, the compliance, and the accuracy of their marketing and their online listings. Okay, and many of you know us from working together with those large investors. This product we're going to talk about today is the first product that we're going to be offering out to the general retail market. Quill, like Larry said, and this is specifically a listing description service. Yeah, over the past several years, again, we've reviewed tens of thousands of listings for our institutional clients. For those of you who don't know, that involves everything from photo work to everything involved in the actual online listing, where it's syndicating to, obviously the photos, the photo order, the listing description details, the data in the listing, etc. That might be for another day to get deep into all that. But today specifically is this listing description piece, which we don't have to tell you how important the listing description is, right? To the marketing of real estate. This is also something that we heard a lot over the years from realtors directly, asking us, hey, we've worked with you before on the institutional side. We've seen what you guys can do. Can you create a product that does X, Y, and Z that helps me with my listing description? So that is what we're excited to show you today.
Beautiful. And as we start to get into this, guys, right? Like a lot of us work with institutional clients, right? And we talk about how this market, there will be just as many opportunities, but it's going to look a lot differently, right? A lot of the clients that are giving us a number of listings over and over and over, anybody agree that they're expecting a higher standard? Right? They want professional photos, right? They want 2D, they want 3D, they want better marketing, they want to know what you're doing for marketing, right? This is where, and I don't disagree with them, right? If they're feeding us 10, 20, 30, 50 listings a year, damn it, we better be performing. Right? I want to underpromise and over-deliver for all of these clients and stuff here, which is why we keep looking at different opportunities like this. And so, John, like where do we want to start with this? Where do we want to start with this? Because there's so much that goes into this, right? Yeah. And I want to leave these guys with, look, something that they can take away. Whether they decide to use Quill or not is kind of irrelevant. Like what can make them better on their listing strategies and stuff like that. So where do we want to start today, guys?
Yeah, great. Hey, Larry. Hey, everyone. And thank you for the invite again. Excited to be here. And yeah, that's our goal here today too is, we'd love for you to be a Quill client, but we'll
hold on one second. Is there feedback for anybody else when he's talking? Yeah, like when you start talking, something's up with your sound.
Any better?
That is much better. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that check. That would have been a long call. Cool. Yeah. So just saying thanks, Larry, for the invite. And yeah, our goal here today is to impart some best practices that we've built into Quill, but whether you work with us or not, good information to pass on nonetheless. So yeah, we'll sort of start with the genesis of Quill. John mentioned that, a big part of our job for the last 7 years involved reviewing listing descriptions and other data points for our clients. And, that included, proofreading, spelling, grammar, syntax, punctuation, negative keywords, fair housing, all that kind of stuff was part of our service. And it sort of dawned on us that, yeah, it'd be far better if we just, offer the technology and the tools that we use internally out to the general realtor market. So that's what we're here to do today. So, you can draft your own listing descriptions from the very start. with all those fair housing compliance standards and best practices already incorporated. And so, yeah, you'll see sort of, we'll go through a demo and some examples here, but yeah, Quill in 30 seconds or less, you're going to get a robust, engaging, and compliant, and also mentioned search engine optimized listing description that, you know, preserves your voice and allows you to still maintain the stylistic control that is your brand, and, you know, allows you to attract the interest that you're looking for from prospective buyers. So yeah, Larry, with that background, we'll sort of jump in.
That sounds great. And I want you guys to think about that, right? When we're doing our broker price opinions and stuff for a lot of our clients, right? It says it has a marketing tab. What are you guys doing to market it, right? If you can regurgitate that, right? And say, oh, look, we're using search engine optimization by doing X, Y, and Z, right? You can build that into your guys' marketing strategy and stuff as well, whether that's a traditional client or an institutional client that you guys are educating on how to do it. So you guys should be able to share your screen and start running with it, Justin.
Great, and that's a good check. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay.
Now it's popping up there.
Okay.
Yes,
Great.
so now we can see your screen.
Perfect, perfect. So we're going to sort of just start with the problem that we set out to solve with Quill. You know, the first problem, you know, and we got a lot of feedback over the last 7 years and, you know, 15 plus years in the real estate space in general, is that, yeah, to craft a really nice listing description takes time. The average that we're told it's between 30 and 60 minutes. So that was one of the first things we set out to solve, was how can we make the process, you know, faster while still maintaining quality. The next problem was, yeah, I don't know what to say, and sort of along with that, I don't know how to say it. That sort of, you know, I'm sure you've all seen and maybe even have written listing descriptions like this, where it's just a list of facts about the property, you know, basically taking some of the selling points that may or may not have fit already into the MLS data and just sort of regurgitate those in the public remarks. And so, you know, that's not sort of the storytelling, that's not sort of the buyer engagement tactic that you're looking for. But sometimes it's just hard to tell a story, especially if you have a lot of listings. You know, you probably end up doing a little copy and paste or using your own templates, and, you know, it's sort of not doing justice for the unique features and characteristics of the property that you're trying to sell. But yeah, that has also been a big point of feedback, is like, I know what's going to be enticing to prospective buyers, but I don't know how to, you know, tell a story about those features and you know, how to prioritize those in my listing description.
Sure.
You know, beyond that, what sort of goes hand in hand with you know, sort of just like a list of facts about a property or sort of a short listing description is, yeah, you're not using your full word count. I know that every MLS has sort of different restrictions on how many words, but, you know, sort of the likes of Zillow, Redfin, Realtor, and Trulia, those sort of aggregator sites, they all strongly recommend that you use at least 250 words. 250 is sort of the target word count. We'll go through an example today to let you know sort of 50 to 100 word listing description looks like, and you'll say, hey, that might look like one of mine. You know, but there are a lot of factors that go into listing descriptions beyond just, you know, the bed count, bath count, and maybe the you know, the location of it. So we'll sort of talk about how Quill and the DNA of a great listing description has already built in. So you sort of can just focus on the facts and the things you know about the property, and let Quill do what it does best in drafting the listing description. Yeah, and then sort of to Larry's point here, and definitely one of the sort of trickiest aspects these days is, I don't know what not to say. So you know, alluding to what Larry mentioned, yeah, so under fair housing, you know, you're not allowed to discriminate against anyone for race, color, national origin, religion, sex, familial status, or disability. And so, you know, everyone sort of knows what that, you know, knows about those rules, and you're doing your best to operate within those rules, but you might just not know the details, and it's sort of a moving target. And that's where Quill comes in to make sure we're sort of front and center on the sort of 50-state landscape of what's permitted to say, what you shouldn't say, and what you should sort of stay away from as a best practice. And yeah, to, to Larry's other point, this is just an example set of bylaws. I'm sure all of your bylaws have something similar where it says, yeah, you are not allowed to violate the Fair Housing Act in the publishing of your listing, right? And in this MLS particularly, you get fined $100 a day for every day you don't remove that language. So yeah, maybe you guys are familiar with this, but it, you know, it was a real monetary penalty too for you know, acting in you know, best interest of your client and of your property and your brand, but you just might have missed something or not have been aware that something is now a discriminatory term. So again, that's where Quill comes in. Some examples here. There's, you know, there's plenty of lists like this. They're changing on a monthly basis, but you know, things like Any Man's Dream is obviously discriminating against sex with the handyman there. And then, yeah, within walking distance, another prohibited term discriminating against those with disability who aren't able to walk. So yeah, again, sort of might seem you know, innocuous or you know, not that obvious, but you know, it's still important, and that's where, you know, we're sort of your watchdog on the front end.
And it's innocent in nature, right? Like I don't think anybody is trying to offend somebody else or something like that, right? But this is where we really just want to be proactive and get ahead of this so nobody gets fined, right? It just creates extra work, and you guys work way too hard. Want to make sure that you guys make sure that you keep as much as possible, and you have as much time as possible as well.
Precisely. So yeah, well, sort of let's do a little breakdown of an existing listing description just to kind of point out some of the pitfalls aside from the time savings, which you'll get to see as part of the demo of Quill. We'll just sort of walk through some of the sort of quality components that are built in. So yeah, here's a listing description. Sort of zoom in for you. Maybe some things are sticking out right off the bat, maybe not, but we'll sort of break this down. Number one, yeah, misspelling. Yeah, this had a remodeled kitchen, but there was a, you know, sort of a fat finger, or for whatever reason there was a misspelling here, and yeah, that's sort of not doing you any favors in terms of touting this important feature of the listing, but it sort of gets augmented because Zillow and other sites call that out even more because they turn that into a tag because they know, oh, adjectives that go along with kitchens are, you know, highly common search terms. So they end up sort of accentuating this misspelling in those tags that you see on these aggregators.
And this is a really important one, guys. Like all of these go into the search engine optimization and stuff as well, right? So if you guys are highlighting some like Zillow and these different websites are going to pull these keywords and then drive more traffic and attention. So you don't want to be driving the wrong attention to your property at the end of the day here. And this will also help with the keywords that people are searching for to get more exposure and more exposure to your properties at the same time.
Great point. Great point. So moving on, the two discriminatory phrases here: master bedroom, which Larry already mentioned, walk-in closet. Again, get tiled, which sort of calls it out in a negative way also. So yeah, Quill, you'll see it provides alternatives to these. You know, primary bedroom, I'm sure is pretty. Primary bedroom, primary suite, spacious closet, oversized closet. You know, we provides you with alternative verbiage when it sees one of those terms used from your existing listing description, or from the very start, Quill has a prohibited term and phrase list. These will never make it in a Quill listing description. It's had a sort of thing called title case, where, you know, you got a lot of capital letters here, which just for the readability, you know, the readability levels sort of low here, so just makes it look not so pleasant on the eyes. And it's short, you know, it's 51 words. You know, it had all the, you know, a lot of the key points about this property, but it's not engaging. It's not telling any story. It's not, you know, probably standing out for sure against other places in Milwaukee. So, you know, it's important to, you know, to keep that word count and the storytelling in mind. And again, that's sort of what Quill does best. So maybe I'll sort of jump in and show you a quick video. Larry, any comments before I move on?
Oh man, I think that's good. Unless anybody has any questions or anything at this point. And actually, there was one question. Did you guys speak at 5 Star on at the Zone panel and stuff as well?
We did. So this will be old news for those of you that heard some of this, heard some at the 5 Star
But
Zone Summit.
But it's also so important, right? Again, we're being asked for a higher quality of service, right? So if our clients are interested in this, do you think that you should be interested in this, right? Like that would be my question to all of you guys. So go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, great. So I'll just play a short video and sort of talk over it here, and we can pause and elaborate a bit more. But yeah, so you just start by entering the property address here. Pulls in the public records data, any current or recent listing information, along with some facts about the property that are likely to exist based on its type or location. And you sort of walk through a set of questions and tiles to just enter facts about the property. And in a few seconds, you get a first version. You sort of continue that series of questions and tiles that learn as they go. And as Quill receives more information and more facts about the property, it says, oh, I need to rebuild the listing description because I have higher priority features that I need to highlight. And you can regenerate, you can change the tone to make sure that you're not using words that you wouldn't use if you want to be more matter of fact. And you can also modify the number of words that you have to your MLS. When it's done, copy and paste. And then if you have an existing description, sort of similar setup, it evaluates against those same grammar and a fair housing term, gives you those alternatives like I mentioned, sort of evaluates and scores it for you with some helpful feedback, fixes them for you. And when you're done, same thing, copy and paste directly into your MLS.
And that was literally kind of start to finish. I mean, I know that you did that quickly and you have a little bit of experience, but that's the entire process, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like on some projects you're going to have more tiles to click through. You're going to have more detail. You can type in any custom features that you don't see there. But yeah, the idea is like leave the wordsmithing to quit. You just enter the facts and the features and the selling points that is going to be that are going to be important for your market and for your buyers. But yeah, it's sort of first version is 30 seconds, and you can sort of get as in depth as you can. I'd say the longest we've ever seen spent on it is about 4 minutes. Going through like all the way to the end where you're talking about energy efficient windows and what type of smoke detector you have. Like you can get pretty deep in detail depending on what you think your buyers are going to care about. And it's sort of all there, but the longest you're really going to take is a couple minutes, a few minutes.
Can I step in for just a minute?
Yeah, of course.
Please.
I'm going to be aging myself when I tell you this, but I don't see what in the world is wrong with master bedroom and walk-in closet. Who in the world said that was discriminatory? I mean, for crying out loud.
So it's not so much whether we feel it or not, right? Like we may say a lot of things. It's if other people get offended. And that's where a lot of these things are coming up. And here's the thing, I can't stop you. I'm not here to tell you what's right or what's wrong at the end of the day. You have to be responsible for your actions. And if you decide that that's the language that you're going to put in, if the MLS doesn't like it, you have to be okay with that, fine, right? If clients don't like it and don't want to use it, you have to be responsible for that. Or there's a growth opportunity here because the industry has changed, because our society has changed at the end of the day. We can choose if we want to grow our vocabulary, right? So nobody's saying that it's right or it's wrong or that you're doing anything, but these are things that are coming up in the MLS and things that are coming up in lawsuits and things that are coming up. So the courts and our regulatory agencies are deciding that this is kind of unacceptable at this point in time, right? And so we can fight it or we can roll with it. Same with technology and stuff here, right? And so if that's something that you commonly use, this could be a very good opportunity for you, like to have a product that will write this and increase the exposure to your particular marketing and keep you out of harm's way. Because as I mentioned in the beginning, I don't think anybody is intentionally trying to be disrespectful, right? These are just words that are commonly used. and this is where I will challenge you, Harmon. Again, not that it's right or wrong, but just because it's the way that we've been doing it doesn't mean that it's right. Right? And a prime example, so for master bedroom, right? The reason that's why slavery was legal at one point. That doesn't mean that it was ever right. Right? And this is where some of those terminologies and stuff come from, right? So just trying to expand kind of the mind of thinking and stuff there. It may not affect you, but it could affect other people that their family was affected in that. And so that's where we're just bringing this broader consciousness and trying to be respectful of everybody at the end of the day. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. So we're in a changing world.
That's it. Constantly evolving, right? And just like we're evolving your business and stuff, right? We want to make sure that we're adding the most exposure and the best product for our client at the end of the day. Tools like this help us do that, so we don't alienate everybody, so we get the most exposure possible, right? Because we know when we get the most exposure possible, we increase the traffic. The more traffic, the more offers. The more offers, the higher price, right? And so it steamrolls. And so, like I said, it's not something that's good or bad, but does this help us provide a better product at the end of the day? So hopefully that helps. I appreciate the feedback in the comment, right? Like, this is a mastermind. This isn't a lecture or anything like that. And there's probably other people that had very similar thoughts. Like, what the hell's wrong with that, right? There's probably a lot of things, and there may be nothing wrong for you, but it could offend some other people. And that's where I want to grow as a person, because I never want to offend anybody at the end of the day. So.
Great. Well said. Well said, Larry. Yeah, I just sort of, and I don't know if John has anything else to add, but just sort of to close it out, and wouldn't be a good steward of our business if we didn't mention that Quill currently is invite only. But if it's okay with Larry, we can send out invites to this group so you can have a 15-day free trial. So.
Yeah, I would love that. And if you send it, Eric Bengal actually writes a weekly newsletter and stuff. And so we'll send it out in our weekly newsletter to our entire group. And then this also goes on YouTube and stuff as well. We can put a link on there, because we have about 600 agents in our group that watch this while they're on the road and stuff. So Kathy, if you could take note with this, if we can make sure that that link is included in YouTube and stuff as well. And then Mark's asking, like, so great, 15-day trial is awesome. I think this makes a lot of sense, right? It shortens our time. And one of the things that I talk about when I'm coaching a lot of agents is the time is the thing that you guys have to protect, right? It's not that you can't do it, but is that the most dollar productive behavior? If it's taking you 30 or 45 minutes, and I know that Jared has 40 listings, or let's be gracious and say 30 listings, right? Times 45 minutes, that's 1,350 minutes, right? So that means that he's spending, if he did 30 minutes per property, 22 plus hours writing descriptions. What could we do with that time, adding it back into Jared's life at the end of the day? And here's the thing, in the future, I want all of you guys to be in that same situation with 30 plus listings and stuff. So after the 15-day trial, like, what does this look from a pricing perspective? I think it makes a lot of sense, but I also feel in this day, right, like where we went from one cable company to now 5 different streaming services. And when we only had one, it was a great deal. Now that we have 5, we're paying more than we paid for the cable altogether. So what's the cost on something like this, my friend?
Yeah, sure. And Jared's going to get steal of a deal, because we charge a fixed $8 per month, no matter how many listings you run through it. So yeah, I'm guessing you value your time more than that. But yeah, it's $8 per month with sort of an annual subscription. So.
And that's where, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to present it to you, right? For $8 a month, like, I don't even know if you can eat at McDonald's for $8 at this point in time, right? Or any fast food. Like, they no longer have a dollar menu or anything like this. So when he told me that, it was one of the most cost-effective programs that I've seen at this point, and really wanted to share with you. I don't care if you guys have 1 listing a month on average, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If you guys are marketing and advertising for other properties, right? And you guys could use this for marketing descriptions and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of different ways that you can use this. And, you know, the $8 a month, man, that's probably the most cost-effective tool that I have in my toolbox at this point in time. Mark, can you handle that? I know you're in Amish country. I know that you only do 70, 80, 100 deals a year. Would that fit into the budget?
Absolutely.
Yes. All right, good deal. You guys didn't tell people what it cost when you guys were presenting with Zoom? I feel like you guys had a missed opportunity, or was Mark not listening? Is that what happened?
Oh, it might have been a combination. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
All right.
I'm sure it wasn't Mark's bad. Guarantee that.
Thanks, Justin.
Of course.
So guys, why we have them here, right? Like it's pretty, like, I mean, that's it. There's not a lot of, like, there's nothing hidden or anything like that, right? This is to amp up your listing descriptions, your property descriptions, make sure that we're saving a hell of a lot of time, especially over this next 4 to 8 years, and that we're abiding by our rules, regulations, and stuff like that that are being you know, that we're being held to as an accountability standard. What questions, comments, concerns, and stuff do you guys have? I see down here that Mike says, could that be used to change descriptions on current listings? I'm going to say absolutely, but Justin, I'll let you do that. Just
Yeah, let me actually share my screen again. And I breezed through that. That was sort of the second half of that quick video we showed, but let me sort of rewind a bit and show you how it can be used to evaluate an existing listing description. So bear with me 1 second.
And you're not sharing your screen right now, as a heads up. There you go.
Cool. Yeah, so this is, you have two options. You can either start from scratch, and it's not really scratch because, again, we're pulling in public records data, we're pulling in existing listing information from the past, so you always get a head start. But to the extent you've already drafted a listing description, yeah, you choose the second option. You'll see it gets pasted in there, and Quill runs its checks. And let me pause there. So you'll see the different categories. So we have syntax errors, that's like spelling, grammar, punctuation. Compliance issues, that's sort of the discriminatory language. Negative keywords, you know, sort of boasting is a big one that you know, it's actually another feature of Quill, is that you can sort of choose which words you want to prohibit always, just to preserve your tone. There's some terms that agents are like, I would never use that word. Please never generate that, Quill. And so you can save that in your preferences. So you're just sort of dialing in further efficiency, listing over listing. And there's sort of like overall quality, like if the listing description is too short, if it's sort of missing a section, some call to action, something like that. And yeah, you'll see here, like this one's missing a hyphen for wood burning, misspelled, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but misspelled winning, so word whining, I guess. Neutral was misspelled. And so yes, it evaluates that. And then as you go through, you click on the term and it gives you the correction right there. And same happens on there's master bedroom there. You see the different alternatives. So primary, main, owner's, principal bedroom. And as you check them off, sort of the list of action items on the right goes away, or you just hit the easy button. That was a big request from the community we worked with in the beta phase of this, was, can we just get them all fixed at once with an easy button? So that's what that fix issues does. And yeah, if there's any sort of generic, or not generic, but like additional things that need to be corrected, you sort of say fix the quality issues, and it throws you back into that workflow that we mentioned before, that we walked through before, where you're adding a little more detail, where you're telling the story, where Quill is guiding you through the DNA of a great listing description, and all you have to do is share facts and features, and Quill does the rest.
And so, you know, Mike, you could go back through and see how terrible your listing descriptions were to begin with, right? And see all of the mistakes. And I'm just joking, but no, literally you can do that. Doesn't mean that your original one was terrible, right? It's just offering some suggestions that's going to, you know, enhance it. Make the search engine optimization is a key part for me of where when you have those right words, it's going to get more exposure and stuff, especially when it's syndicated online. Did that answer your question there, Mike? Yeah, perfect. Any other questions, guys? There's a few, like anybody currently using this right now? No? James Brown, did you have something to say over there, sir? Mark, go for it, man.
Can
Oh,
you
sorry. I didn't realize I unmuted somehow.
No problem, buddy. Mark, what do you got, man?
can you limit the quantity of words or characters used, as some MLSs will just chop things off?
Yeah, definitely. You can enter, actually, just keep my screen share up. Let me show you that. Let's go back to, so it's probably difficult to see. That's on the screen share, but yeah, right here you enter the limit that your MLS has of words or characters, and Quill will redraft it within those guidelines automatically.
Question, a lot of times, so we have the property description and then we have agent remarks and stuff like that. If we had a link to submit offers, like could we write the agent remarks and stuff as well and kind of guide it to do that? Or is this just for the property side?
Yeah, great question, and has started to come up more and more because those same yeah, best practices are applied to the private remarks as well. So yes.
Any other questions, comments, concerns on this, guys?
Yeah, if we want to get this thing, how do we get it?
Yeah, do you have a, do you want to put the link, if you have a link already, guys, you can go ahead and put it in the chat, just so the people that can access it. And then also if you want to email it to me, Justin, as well. That way I can get it out to everybody and stuff in our, with Eric in our weekly newsletter.
Great. So we will, I'll put the URL here. But there's still, you'll sort of get to bypass this invitation process as part of Larry's group. You'll bypass this and get admitted into the invite only.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to, and this is as they're still growing this, right, guys? Like this is a chance to kind of test and grow with the company and stuff as well. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, like when Zillow first came out, right? Literally, you could get leads for 7 cents, 8 cents. Then we saw 50 cents and 40 cents. And then we saw $4 and $8, right? Now we're looking at $40, $50 a lead at this point in time, right? Because the company has adapted and gotten more and more efficient. So one, Justin and John, I'm sure could use your guys' feedback if there's other suggestions and stuff that you think would enhance this, make this better, do different things like that. And they are working, I don't, like, we'll have them back on later down the road. There's other products and stuff that they're working on as well to continue to enhance, enhance your listings and stuff that you guys will have first availability to try and beta those as well, right? So it's really cool to kind of be a part of this one, especially if it adds value to you guys today. Everything else is just kind of a bonus at the end of the day. So I see the link and stuff in there. And Beta, I see that you're not receiving the weekly newsletter. Kathy, if we can make sure that we get her added into our distribution list, that would be great.
Larry, I have a question regarding the words remodeled, rehabbed, renovated, and what was the other word? I think those in particular. Is there a distinction on that system for that? I do a lot of BPOs and I read all the descriptions of all the MLSs and they come up all the time. But when you look at it, it's like, that's not remodeled or that's not rehabbed or that's, so is that going to be an issue, I guess, forthcoming or coming in the future regarding those words?
Yeah, a good question. I guess that's relating to, those terms being used for your listing description. So that's the nice part about Quill is we're just taking the facts that you tell us. So if you tell us it's remodeled, if you tell us it's renovated, or partially renovated, or the other part I didn't give you quite a demo on, but to Larry's point, it would be great to get your feedback as you start to use it. It's sort of conditionally learned. So as we learn about partial renovations, facts about the property, it'll start to walk through, okay, well, what aspects of the property were renovated? And then Quill will decide which of those, depending on your market, are most popular, and we'll sort of promote those in the listing description output. But Quill's not gonna make an assumption on whether it was renovated or not. We're gonna take the details information that you share and incorporate those. And by the way, you can always, if you don't like, sort of go back to this, if you don't like the term rehab, but you'd like to use renovated, you can sort of freeze that in your profile. So you're like, oh, when that word comes up, I'm going to be using renovated instead of rehabbed. So something to keep in mind to preserve your voice and to make sure that it's using terms of vernacular that your
Cecilia,
sellers
so
are used
if
to
you
hearing.
think if you think as he was going through that example, right, it highlighted words that were questionable, right? And if you don't like those words, it will align to your voice, and you can say, hey, I never want to use the word remodeled again, right? And you can veto that word. Or you can say, oh, I like this word better, right? And it will also start to learn your voice and stuff. So it's a representation of you, and it will get smarter and smarter the more that you use it as well.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Any other questions, guys?
Hey, Larry.
Yes, sir.
So you guys have brought up the voice thing here a few times. I'm just curious, are we doing the listing and then talking it into the AI and then it's doing its thing, or how exactly?
I think when we're talking about voice, we're not talking about physically our voice. Now, it may have the ability, I mean, with my computer, right? Like I can hit, talk to type in mine, but we're not talking about like your actual voice. We're talking about your character, your demeanor, right? Where it starts to sound and write like you based on the words and stuff that you do like there. Justin, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, we're not, it's not like mimicking you. It's not like saying it in your voice or anything like that. We're just talking about as if you were sending me a text message, right? It's going to use those same style and tonality. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, again, I breezed over that pretty quickly, but especially for as is properties that are probably going to be, your target buyer is going to be an investor. If you use language that's far too expressive, you can actually do some harm, right? You're sort of making a property that's a tear down or a full gut job sound much better than it is. So that's why the sort of tone to be more matter of fact is handy, especially for maybe some of the institutional or distressed properties that might be in your portfolios. Yeah, that's where that comes in. And then others, you want to be more expressive. There are some features that you really want to highlight and tell a story, and you're not worried about, going over your 250 word target.
Yeah,
great question.
Yeah, just from like a personal style standpoint, right? Some people like to use exclamation points and more colorful adjectives, again, within their voice, while others are a little bit more, scientific and fact-based in the way that and the style that they like to write.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you. It makes more sense now.
Anybody else? Well, guys, I greatly appreciate that. Eric Bengal, the link is in there. I would just make sure that you copy that down for the newsletter. Otherwise, I can get you a copy and stuff of that as well. And any other questions or anything before we wrap up here today, guys?
Now that's that's kwill.com or the CO with a slash.
I think it's just CO. So Quill, KWILL.co/.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and if you click on it in the chat box, it should open up a window and stuff there as well. And Maggie, I just wanted to say it's wonderful to see you as part of our group officially over here. Just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
That's been a long time coming. It's like Mark Rebert. I'm going to be so excited when he's official. It's okay. It's just a long dating process, Mark, and I'm okay with this.
Maggie, where are you at in Minnesota?
Minneapolis.
South?
I'm like, who's talking to me?
The only other Minnesota person who can stand hanging out in the snow. So it's you
Oh,
and I.
hi, Ryan. Yeah, we're safe from natural disasters though, so that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yep. We're gonna be the
And
last
so
ones here.
Ryan's a multiple year icon agent and stuff up there as well. You guys should definitely connect. You guys are both rock stars and stuff like that. So yeah, you guys should definitely connect.
I will do that.
Are you going to EXPCon, Maggie?
I'm not.
Oh, I'm escaping one last time before the cold. Although summer just seems to keep continuing on here. I don't know. Maybe winter's canceled this year.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We can always go to Larry's if it gets too cold.
It's true.
There you go. Backyard's all done, guys. All right, man. Well, guys, I appreciate everybody's time this Friday morning. I will make sure that you guys are connected with Justin and John. Guys, thank you so much for presenting this to us today. I think this is a no-brainer for every listing agent on here, or even if you're a buyer's agent and you're trying to market other properties and gather as much attention as possible. And for me, like, it adds a ton of value, saves you guys a lot of time, and the price is really right at the same time. So just wanted to thank you guys for all being here, for presenting and stuff like that. If you guys need anything, call, text, or email me, and we will talk to you guys soon. Have a great week.
Thanks for having us, Larry.
Absolutely. Have a great day, guys.
See you, Larry.
Bye-bye.